All right, today we're going to put the foam pieces together with contact cement, and what you might want to get is these foam brushes, or you can use a scrap piece of foam. And also look on the label of your contact cement. You'll notice that it's very, very hazardous, so you might want to get rubber or latex gloves as well as a ventilator. Make sure a window's open as well as doors, and you're not sort of doing this in the closet. And once you've sort of gotten your everything sort of out, you might also want to clean up your surface, just because if you have stuff laying around, it could get caught in your glue, especially if you have like your fabric, like faux fur and that sort of thing. Just make sure the surface is wiped down so that you don't get fur or bits of material in your foam pieces as you're gluing them. So now, once that you've gotten sort of everything ready, I like to use a paint can opener to open up my cans, and you can find those at a paint store, basically for $2. Enough about that, it's pretty self-explanatory. And what you want to do is put on your latex gloves or rubber gloves, and start to put a thin coat of glue on the surface of your foam. And it doesn't, like I said, it just needs to be very, very thin. It doesn't need to be like icing on cake. It doesn't need to be just like little dabs. You'll want to just make sure that you cover it and get all the surfaces so that there's a sort of a clean sort of layer on there. Now you'll notice sometimes when you're adding glue, it'll start to dry as you're putting it on. Just make sure that it's sort of evenly wet throughout, and then just set that to dry. Now here's the surfaces that you'll want to cover. This curve here, as well as this curve and this one right here. You don't want to put glue on that surface right here, the straight, or this curve at the bottom. So I'll show you how to put them together now. I've already put one together, and basically the two curves with the straight you'll want to put together, and you'll start from where sort of the angle starts, and then just follow along, pinching it together to the bottom line. And once you have both, what you'll want to do too, is also wait and for the glue to be tacky. Just make sure that you give it proper time to dry. And what I've done now is I'm also, once those two are together, you'll notice that you'll have a right side and a left side. If you have two right sides, just turn it inside out. And then what you'll want to do is start on the front of the skull and just work your way down, pushing them together until you meet the ends. And what I like to do is sort of pinch the ends and then work my way back to the middle, pinching those. And you'll notice that if you haven't given it proper time to dry, it's going to soup all out or create a mess as you're putting it together, or it just won't stick because it will be too wet. And like I said, I like to work from the inside as well as the outside, so I'm pushing with my right hand, or pinching with my right hand and pushing with my left hand on the inside. Now if you notice here, all the lines that I've done are sort of on the inside of the skull, and I tried to make sure that they're all on the inside, just because if I am using a cheaper fabric, you'll be able to see those lines through it. So just a tip. As well, another sort of tip that I like to use or do is once you're done with your foam brushes, just simply snap off the foam part and you can throw those out. And with the wood part, you can also use those for rods or other mechanisms for your puppet. So that's it for the gluing of the foam part. I know it's been a really short tutorial. But that's basically it. It's pretty simple. So next week what we're going to be doing is going through mouth plates, and I've gotten a lot of emails about when that was going to happen. So that's going to be next week, so stay tuned. And what I'll do is I'll start off with easy mouth plates and work my way up to more complex ones for those of you interested. See you next week. Bye.